Good morning.
Hola.
Hello. Good morning from Japan. Hi, Mariem.
How are
Buenos
you?
noches.
Good night. Good night from Venezuela. Good morning,
Good morning,
Japan.
Japan. Good evening, Venezuela. How are you? ¿Cómo está?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm really excited to be in this live video with you to talk a
Yeah.
little bit, the chit chat, and answer the questions the fans have.
Yeah, I'm sure that our fans have many questions in mind. And, well, we are going to dig deeper one by one these things that they would like to ask about the Miss International Beauty Pageant and also about the very controversial part, which is wherein a lot of people basically do not know until now, is how Miss International is being chosen. Well, for some pageants, I think people already have an idea how they get chosen because at times the scores were shown on the live telecast, and even the voting and the point system were being shown. But Miss International has never done that before. So it still remains a question how a Miss International is actually being chosen. So who
Mhm.
else would be the better or the guest for today but the 2008 International, because you are the last Miss International to judge the pageant. So I am sure that everything is still fresh from your memory. You were a judge last year in Miss International, so I'm sure you still remember the whole process. Sorry, guys. We have some volume, a little bit of problem when it comes to volume right now. I think I should increase my volume. Should I?
Yours?
Okay.
Sometimes my connection is not so good here in Venezuela, so I do my best to try to hear you, because and try to understand what you're saying because it stops
No, it's
while
okay.
we're talking.
It's so.
So
So
what was
first
your
and foremost, here I'm gonna put the topic in here right now. Number one, what is the Miss International judging system? A lot of people are asking that. What is the judging system in Miss International?
okay? I think that is being a judge on Miss International beauty pageant. It's a hard job actually. It is. It's not. It's definitely not simple. I think I will need your help here because um, I I've been a judge through all my Miss International year in several opportunities. When I visited Myanmar, when I visited where
Vietnam,
Ecuador, when I visited
Mexico.
República Dominicana, and it's nothing compared of being a judge on a international beauty pageant like Miss International. And I don't know if it is because I was choosing my successor. I think it has something to do with that. It's even more difficult when you're choosing the one to who you are putting or passing the crown to.
Yeah.
And but I yes, as I remember, it's something. It's very clear from the beginning, um, and it starts when the delegate arrives in Japan. This the day they arrive. Since that day, you're being you're in the competition, and and I think that every judge keeps it's their eye on the delegates since the very beginning of the competition. And while all these 3 weeks at least happens, you gotta do well. Now I'm talking as a delegate, not as a judge. You gotta do your best, and not only your best, but while you're doing your best, you gotta be yourself. Never forget to be yourself, to be genuine while you're doing your best. And that is something really important mm, to the judges. At least it was to me it was for me when I was a judge. And okay, so now I will need your help
Okay,
to
of course.
continue.
Yes,
Yeah,
I get what we're talking about, but yeah, everything happens
when
really so fast with Miss
how
International. When they arrive, that's true. They are already being judged, but they're not being judged in such a way that we are taking down notes and putting scores every day. It's not like that. It's when you arrive from the airport, we totally understand that some girls had to travel for 20 hours, for 30 hours, and we do not expect them to be totally glammed up the moment they arrive. So when they arrive and they look a little bit tired and all that, some girls still look fresh, like you, for example.
yeah,
When
yeah,
you arrive.
no,
It's
yeah, I
okay.
mean that you are not
So
being judged. You're not being judged since you arrive.
yeah,
But the competition starts
right
the day
there.
you arrive.
That's
Yeah,
true. That's true. It's
and
great
it
to
is
look good.
important.
Like what I'm talking about is like the staff. There are already staff at the airport who are waiting for the delegates, and more than how you look physically, I think it's more about your character, your attitude when you arrive. It's not like when you arrive there, you started already with a bad tone, then that is already a major turn off. And I think any organization, whether it's a beauty pageant or even it's a work environment, would be totally turned off if you actually arrived there and then you already started to show that attitude. It doesn't even matter whether you look so beautiful or you're so perfectly made up, but if you already started showing tantrums, like, oh, why is this late? Why I have to wait? Why I have blah blah blah? You know that is already a total major turnoff. So part of the Miss International judging system is to really look at the attitude of the girls right at the very beginning. And you are right on there. Yeah, well, the moment they arrive there, they're already being checked and they're already being um, ruled out if they do something totally totally not good. I'll just try to make it as simple as I'll try to make my English as simple as possible here. And yes, going back into the topic, which is the Miss International judging system. So basically, we don't do point system. We don't put 10 points, 5 points, 6 points, or something. It's basically the overall impression about the girls, each girl, and then eventually there are two kinds of system that we are doing. One is with the actual judges like you, Mariem. You guys had the sole right to vote who would be in the top 15. So it should be voting. So you are the only people who would be able to vote who would make it into the top 15, who would make it to the top 8, and who would make it into the top 5. The staff and the chaperones and all the people around will be evaluating the girls. So this is the other judging system, which is to judge the girls based on their overall rapport, whether they come on time, they dress up properly to the occasion, whether they show class and poise, and or this classic pageant thing. Those are being evaluated on a daily basis, and the evaluation will be given to the judges a day before or on the day of the pageant itself. However, just like Mariem here, Mariem had the opportunity to know the girls for 3 weeks that they are there. So somehow she has the influential power to convince the other judges about this girl and that girl, right? And also the
Mm-hmm.
girls, some of the events that we have, 2, 3, or 4 judges would be there without even informing anyone that the judge is there. So in that one particular event, maybe the judge is already taking down notes on who are the girls that he or she is eyeing on, like the welcome party and visits to certain places and
Sponsor, yeah, sponsor events.
sponsor events. Sometimes the sponsors would judge, sometimes they would decline or they would not accept the offer of becoming a judge. So the girls are not really aware whether the sponsor visit is actually a judged event or not. So it's totally in that aspect, it's not so transparent because it's not good to just tell a girls, hey girls, you're this event is something that you are being judged. So they change their attitude, they suddenly become nice girls when you tell them that they are being judged. But if you don't tell them, if it is an event where they are not judged, then they also change their attitude. So you really have to be consistent all the time. Just like you, Mariam, being consistent all the time. The quiet girl, 19-year-old teenager in every event. You're always at the
My
back.
connection is really, really bad. Just
Oh, sorry.
it's
It's okay. It's okay.
getting harder and harder for me to understand. What should I do?
It's okay.
Mm,
Well, the thing is, just remember that the girls are being judged on a daily basis. It's and nobody knows when exactly and how exactly they are being judged.
yes, and that is something I could hear. I think it was being the reigning queen. It happened to me when Kevin was the reigning queen in 2017. I think uh, she was spending a lot of time with us, and we didn't have any idea she was going to be part of the judges, and that is a really good opinion. So she had the opportunity to meet, really get to meet every girl, and I know that the rest of the judges are interested in knowing the reigning queen opinion about every girl. And it happened to me when I was uh, part of the judge last year, and many of the judges asked asked me about what do I think about this delegate, what do I think about her behavior, and I think that is I think that is a good thing because you have only one chance to get out of the stage, and sometimes it doesn't comes out as you want to, or maybe it does, but when it doesn't, you need that opinion that can help you or maybe can destroy you, but sometimes that is, I think that is something that I like a lot about Miss International, because um, you have the opportunity to tell what do you think about each girl. Of course you don't have the time to get to meet them a lot, and even to share with them as you want to, but I think that the time you spend with them, it's enough to have, just a certain feeling about each delegate. Um, and I think that's something that I really liked about being a judge in Miss International, because you know that your opinion is has a worth. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
That's
important.
very true. That is very true. But we just want to clarify that it doesn't necessarily mean that the winner or the top five girls were the girls who spent most time with Mariem. Not necessarily.
No.
Because um,
No,
probably there
actually,
will be a
you just say, yeah, you just say your opinion, and it's just that. And, it's just your opinion. It doesn't change anything.
yeah, you'll just
It,
share your words, and it's still up to the judge whether they're gonna take it
Mhm.
or not. So we have like 15 judges, and each one of them already have a decision in their heart. So maybe they just need a little bit of
That's right.
affirmation or information from you, for example, because you have met the girls for a long time compared to them. So I hope that that topic is already cleared out. Let's go to the next topic here, which is how is Miss International chosen? Okay, now let's make it take a little bit of a summary. So we have 82 girls. This is based on last year. We already have 82 delegates, and they are cut into 15. So how did we come up with the top 15? That's probably one question that they would like to ask. Maybe I can answer that one. The top 15 are voted by the judges themselves, including Mariem. So basically, Mariem is just one of the 15 votes there. So she is 1/15th. Okay. And the other judges would also vote for 15 girls that they liked during the presentation. And also based on their overall impression about the girls when they had a chance to meet them in prior events, or maybe in some situations that they get the chance opportunity to meet the girls. Um, so they would vote their 15 girls, and whoever gets the most number of votes would be the ones who will make it into the top 15. Unless there will be tie in the 15th spot, then that's the time when the judges will have to deliberate, and that's the time when Mariam's opinion would really matter, because because if there's a tie and it's like, hey, Mariam, like from these girls, probably they would probably ask you like who would make it into the top 15 and who would make it to the top 8. So that's it. It's voting, and then again we have the top 15. All right. So we have the top 15, and then they did last year. They did a swimsuit walk, and then they had a presentation based on their swimsuit. At the same time, also with their national costume and the evening gown that they did prior to the swimsuit. And then again, the judges would vote for your top 8 among the top 15, right? If you remember. But it has no ranking. It doesn't mean that the one that you put as number 1 is first place, number 2 is second place. It's just voting, right? You just vote for 8 girls. And then those 8 girls with the most number of votes would be top 8, which is now we are now to top 8. And from the top 8, we have the speech. And this is where everything changes, because among the top 8 girls, they will do their speech, and the judges will now start ranking who is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. And the ranking has corresponding points, which means that whoever is number 1 will have, let's say, 50 points. And again, the next is 30 points or 20 points. And whoever gets the most number of points will eventually become the winner of Miss International. Now, let's go back to Mariem. Mariem, at this point in time, at this point in time, how as a judge, how do you actually like gauge the ranking? Who do you think will be number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5?
Once they already did the speech.
Yes, after the speech. Because this is the most difficult part as a judge, right?
Yeah, it is the most difficult part. And I always say that I'm not a good judge. I mean, it's not. I always say that it's really a difficult job, and doing that is, you know, it's really important. And sometimes I get nervous. It's, you know, it's quite a situation you got to handle. And I was focused when I was a judge on the speech. I really, not only on the speech, but how do they, mm, what's the feeling you get when she is doing her speech. It is more important than what she's actually saying, because sometimes it happens. It is happening right now to me. Uh, English is not, when you're speaking in another language. Maybe many of those girls don't speak a fluent language like English,
Hmm.
and you can get lost in translation. But there's something that is, it doesn't matter where are you from, or or where, or if you do speak English or not. There's something about what you transmit. Maybe that's the word. Or
What you relay or you transpire through your message.
yeah, yeah. That's what I want to say. What's your, what are you, what are your feelings while you're saying that? That is really important for me. It wasn't in last year, and and definitely that's, right now I can say that's why Bint won. Because she's a girl that when she speaks, you can feel she means what she's saying, and that is the most important thing to me. Hmm.
Yeah, and we also have to give the credit to Bint because English is not her first language, and until now she's still not that very good with speaking English. Although I could we could understand her when she communicates with
Yeah,
everyone, and she's really very friendly, and she always smiles all the time. So just because someone has difficulty with the English language doesn't necessarily mean that you cannot win the Miss International title. So
that is right.
the speech is just one factor, but at the same time, it will lead the girls into convincing the judges to vote for them as number one in their final ranking of the top eight. So, well, yeah, so that's how a Miss International is chosen. You put the girls according to rank, and then whoever gets the most number of points based on their ranking among the 15 judges will be crowned as Miss International. So that is how a Miss International is chosen. That was how Mariem was also chosen as Miss International, basically. And that's how the Miss International winners for the past, as far as I know, for the past 7 years were chosen. The system hasn't changed basically. It has been like that for a long time, but I can only speak for your year and Bint's year because I've been a part of the organization for the past 2 years. So prior to that,
Mhm.
I cannot say with an honest opinion because I wasn't there in the judging panel or in the judging booth.
Yeah.
And yes, um, let's go to the last topic before we answer some questions from the fans. Here is the last topic that we have. To all the girls who will be joining Miss International, especially next year, to the 60th edition, what are your tips to them and any advice that you can give to them, which will be very, very valuable? And I'm pretty sure that some of the delegates or expected delegates for next year are listening right now.
Okay. I think I have many. I have a few. A few. The first, and that is something I always repeat every time I have the opportunity to say to every delegate, or maybe every girl who dreams about joining Miss International, is that you gotta be yourself all the time. I know when you arrive, you feel the pressure, you're nervous, you're expecting, you're on expectation and thinking what is going to happen, and you get really stressed out about that, and you forget about having fun and forget about being yourself because you want to impress everyone. You just want to be you want to be the best, and it doesn't matter how are you doing it and if you're faking it or not. You just want to be the best and to be recognized by that, maybe. But the main thing is that, and that is something I did when I was a delegate, is to be myself. It doesn't matter if people like it or not. um, but when you are your true self, people will recognize that every action you're doing, uh, every word you say, you're saying it from your heart, and it's part of who you are and nothing else. And that is the first advice I can give to any delegate, or maybe any girl who wants to be part of Miss International. And another thing that is really important to remember is that when you arrive, you will think that maybe that you are not the winner, and you will feel like rejected or something like that, because there are so many girls, and the attention cannot be only focused on you. There are many girls, and people talk about every beautiful woman that is part of that of that year, of that miss of the Miss International of that year. And remember that you are not the only one, but just try to be your best, so people cannot stop talking about you. Like it is difficult to say it in English. I have my idea on Spanish in my brain, but when the English words comes out,
You can say it
it's
quickly. Say
like,
it quickly in
but
Spanish. Say it quickly.
in Spanish.
I have seen Miss Mexico and Miss Venezuela are here listening right now. Maybe Miss Costa Rica is also here listening. So you can say it really quick in Spanish.
I can say it in
Yeah,
Spanish.
Espanol.
Debes recordar que cuando llegues vas a sentir que los nervios te hacen pensar que cualquier otra chica es la ganadora, y que pues no eres parte del top, o de las que posiblemente podrían ganar, pero realmente eh, debes hacer lo mejor, dar lo mejor de ti para que las personas no puedan pasarte desapercibida, porque no pases desapercibida, porque digan que tú eres eres una posible ganadora. So what I was saying is that uh, you gotta do your best, so people start to think that you have what it takes to be the Miss International, even when there's a lot of beautiful women. you
That's
gotta
true.
you gotta be the whole package, or something like that.
And you really have to reserve your energy when it really mattered, because it's a long activity, long set of activities. We have so many activities prior to the final night, and one
Mhm.
advantage that you have at Miss International is that you don't really spend too much time rehearsing for the final night, which
Yeah.
is different from other pageants. Because in your case, I remember in your year, I think you only had 3 hours of rehearsal prior to the final night, which happened the next day. And then you have the dress rehearsal in the morning and then
Mhm.
finals right away. So it's really different from other pageants wherein they have huge preliminary shows, they have huge uh, events on stage,
Rehearsal.
rehearsals and
Yeah.
rehearsals and all that. But Miss International is not like that. The main priority is you guys to be able connect with each other, to experience culture, and to experience how the Japanese people actually live, and to try Japanese food
And
as well. And
no, not only good, it is. I always say that it is the best experience I had, thanks to Miss International. I feel so connected to the Japanese culture now, and that is thanks to Miss International organization. And I've learned so many things, mm, not only about how being a queen or how to be on stage and talk to many people and look like you have the most amazing catwalk. No, I learned many others. Like I learned a few words of a new language. I have new friends all over the world, and I learned about a culture that I can say, um, it's more than a culture. It's something. Mm, it's a lifestyle. It's a way
the
of
lifestyle,
living.
yeah, way of living of the people. Yeah, that's true. And well, I think we have some fans here are already very excited for next year. One of them, Benj Kilar Salisa, says that he wants to go to Japan next year to watch Miss International, and he is saving money right now. LOL. You should save money, Benj, for the 60th Miss International. And yes, thank you so much for the comment. And well, um, some people are actually saying, I read somewhere around here that mentioning about the fact that you are the most traveled Miss International in recent years, because you have traveled to the Dominican Republic, to Mexico, to Ecuador, and also here in Asia like Myanmar, Indonesia, Vietnam. So among all those places that you visited, which one was the most memorable?
And which country was the most memorable?
Yeah,
That's the
aside from
question.
Japan, because you also came to Japan for Hokkaido. So
Can could you
I will,
repeat the question again?
I will repeat it again. Which one was the most memorable trip that you had among all the countries that you have visited during your year?
Okay, not counting Japan.
Time. That would be unfair.
Okay, um, I think Myanmar and Vietnam. Myanmar definitely surprised me. I was uh, I was nervous. I was, yeah, I like, I can say I was nervous because when you arrive to a place, you have no idea what you will see there. Um, you are nervous, and I was actually, but when I arrived, it was such a good experience. And when I went to the pagoda in Shuidagon Pagoda, I remember the name perfectly. It was one of the most epic moments in my life. I will never forget that, and I wish I could have the opportunity to be again there, but to visit the most, even more beautiful landscapes and places in Myanmar. And another place that I liked a lot, it was Indonesia, but I think it was because of the kindness of the people. Because I,
Yes,
I didn't I only spent like 3 days or five maybe, and
me three.
I, yeah, or yeah, and I didn't have the time to go around the city and see, the most uh, touristic maybe and the most visited places
Yeah.
in Jakarta. But it doesn't matter. The people made that trip, uh, and a memorable one. So it's part of my list, and Vietnam too. Vietnam as well. Yeah.
Yeah, we were together in Vietnam, and that was really fun there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
well,
But you remember, you remember that my the trips when we went to Vietnam, I was not feeling well. I had like a huge.
You were not
I was
well, you
like,
had like a little bit of a same problem.
mhm.
Yeah.
But
Your headache.
I enjoy it as well. Yeah, yes, everything's in your mind. I always I was repeating to myself like, you are here, you gotta enjoy, and then worry about other things.
But you were able to handle it very well, Mariam. Well, I totally understand. It's a very long trip flying all the way from Venezuela to Asia. So, but you were able to handle it perfectly well. You know, as for a very young woman like you, it's really quite admirable. You know, I like not so many young women in
The
their
younger you are,
yes.
the most, yeah, able you are to resist to that. uh, yeah,
But you're able to
time.
grow. So, yeah, you grow with the experience. Well, finally, we'll
That's
just wrap this up with a message coming from Neymar Garigata,
what it was.
Mariem Guarigata. Mariem, la Miss Internacional más productiva para esa organización with the Venezuelan flag.
You understand, Stefan?
Or like it's like you're the most productive Miss International for the organization.
You do. Oh my God, you're good at Spanish.
No, I'm
You're.
not.
I said that to you maybe 2 days ago or a week ago. You're one step away about for speaking Spanish.
I don't know. I'm not even sure if this one is a good message or not because it's in Spanish anyway. But I'm just gonna read it from Rotio Rodriguez Roca. Mariem, la mejor internacional, la más viajada y solicitada.
Do you understand
They're like you're a
that
great
one?
Miss International. Did so many travels and what's solicitada and visitation or I don't know
Requested, requested,
request. Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, you're
Yeah,
requested to visit many countries. From Rotio Rodriguez. Gracias. Thank you so much to all of the messages. Thank you very much to all the fans who actually left their message around here. And once again, I know it's already late right there in Venezuela right now, but thank you for accommodating this live interview, Mariam. We miss you here in Japan. We're so proud of what you have
oh,
become.
I
We want
miss
to
you
have you back.
too so much. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the time I can go back to Japan.
Yeah, maybe it's a private citizen wherein you can just freely go wherever you want to go and then just choose which places you can do. But with this pandemic, maybe we have to wait a little bit. But still, guys, please keep on following us on our social media accounts on Instagram at Miss International Official, our Twitter account at Miss Inter ORG, Facebook at missinternational.bp, and of course our newly revamped YouTube channel, the International Miss International channel. Please don't forget to check us out, and also please follow Mariem. And she is now finishing her studies. One day we will probably just hear she's gonna graduate. And
Yeah,
the
one
thing about
day.
Miss International, we always value whatever career or whatever studies the our winner is pursuing, and you don't really need to go to show business, and you just have to pursue what is in your heart, continue what you're doing, continue what you love the most, and we will always be very very proud whatever you may be, because you are Miss International and you were chosen for who you are.
That is so beautiful. Yeah, I feel part of this is a family, and it feels so good to be part of it. And I think this family is forever. I think every Miss International, um, when I've had the opportunity to talk to any former Miss International, they always say the same. Miss International is a family, and I'm so happy to be part of it. And thank you so much to everyone who joined this live video, and of course to you, Stefan. I love you. I'm sending you a lot of kisses, and I'm sorry about my connection.
It's
Sometimes,
okay.
I couldn't hear you, and that is such a shame. But it's something that happens here in Venezuela a lot. But okay, but it was so fun. It was such a good opportunity to talk to you about this topic that I know everyone is interested on
Yes,
knowing what.
I
Yeah.
know. That's true. That's true. Thank you very much, Mark.
Thank
And thank you
you.
very much to all the fans. We love you, and please continue to support the Miss International Beauty Pageant. And we'll be seeing you next year for the 60th Miss International Beauty Pageant. Thank you very much, guys. Muchas gracias. Bye.
Muchas gracias.